Broncos Country, how we doing today? Feeling good. And you know what? I stopped that preemptively because Broncos Country, we're not supposed to feel this way. This is a year in which we're not supposed to be successful. We're not supposed to have playoff success. We're not supposed to have the feelings in which we are superior and better than other franchises. But you know what? We are. 31-13 over the Indianapolis Colts in a crucial game in which we had to have to win the playoffs. This basically solidifies a playoff berth. First time in, I would say, 8 years, since Super Bowl 15. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a massive game in which we needed to have. We're going to get into the ins and outs, the X's and O's in which why we won this game. But at the end of the day, Broncos Country, we came away with the dub. And that is different than, again, other instances that we have had opportunity in the past. And you know what? At the end of the day, we got Nikola Jokic as the NBA MVP all year long. We got Nathan McKinnon, the MVP of the NHL for all year long. And we got Travis Hunter, the MVP of all NCAA football of all year long. And guess what, folks? Bo Nix on his way to the MVP of the NFL at some point in his career. And it's going to happen because this is the floor. Playoffs. Super Bowl window. And here we go. This is the Buck Your Feelings postgame. Oh my dear God. Holy shnikes. Here we are. 31-13 over the Indianapolis Colts. This was a crucial game in the playoff sphere that is the NFL season thus far.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Broncos passed its test today. It wasn't pretty. Now, I will say it wasn't pretty, but we passed that test. And you know what? To further explain the successes in which we absorbed today is my cousin, boop, 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 Johnny Baki, Mile High Viking, let's go. Johnny, how are you feeling about today as an overall after all of the podcasts you have been in today?
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
That's all I got to say, Jay. I mean, it's another marathon day for me. 3 shows back to back to back all day long. Thank God for my wonderful wife, my wonderful kids, for their love and their patience and their understanding of my fandom and my hobby.
Oh my God!
And all that. But beyond all that, it's a victory. It's a victory. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't what we'd come to, we'd come to. Now, I don't know if I would use the words expect. It's not what we have become accustomed to in a short period, over the last month from the Broncos. But at the end of the day, they held on. They were getting their asses handed to them. And then they were resilient. They got back up and they fought off the bully. Okay. The bully knocked them down and was pummeling them. Told them to stay down. They stood back up and said, full on Captain America, I can do this all day kind of thing. And they did it. They knocked it out of the park. In the fourth quarter alone, 21 points put up by the Broncos. 2 of them offensively, 1 of them defensively. Doesn't matter how it happened, and it's over. And the Broncos' chances of making the playoffs are now in the mid-90s. Mid-90s, mind you.
Yeah, dude, and honestly, in a ballpark sense, we've got a lot of positive vibes. Smiley face Broncos saying they won.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Blitz.
For effing. Let's effing go. Dude, we played fantastic. There was no fret about the performance of this team today. We started out 10-0. We were down 10-0, and we did not flutter. We did not blink. We just stood strong, and we said, you know what?
As a team.
Overall, special teams, offense, and defense, because all 3 facets played a huge part in this victory, I would say.
I want to recall another time earlier this season when we were down 10-0.
Yeah.
Who was that against? Oh, wait, it was against the Raiders in our first meeting with the Raiders this year. And what did we do to them?
Is correct.
Same thing we did to the Colts today. Held on strong, came back to knock it out of the park.
No, it's very true. It's very true. Blitz be repping saying, we started out a little shaky. But we ended up tightening up. The football gods were with us today. And you know what? Our very tall friend, Adon Diaz, a 6'10" Mexican, says, in the name of Holy Baki, the boys pulled it off. Let's go.
Dude, don't you can't put me on that level. You can't put me on state level.
Blitz B Adon, let's go. Broncos, shout out to you. Yay. Broncos, the mark from Georgia. Saki. What's up, my dude? Going on, Dreamweaver. Boys, like this is some big stuff, man. Like usually around this time period,
emotional damage.
It ain't that today. We're feeling great. We're feeling ourselves. We have positive vibes to spin them out. And you know what? I'm appreciative. Me, myself, and I'm very appreciative of the time periods in which we get to reflect upon positive vibes, because this team has come through when we needed it the most. Now, granted, I would like to send a fruit basket, a fruit cake,
Don't send a fruit cake. Nobody wants that.
A pleasant greeting to Jonathan Taylor at year end here to say thank you so much for dropping the ball at the goal line, because you by yourself may have resurrected this entire fan base's season, because without that, boys, we could have been down 2 scores. And I don't like those odds against the type of team we were playing that was run heavy, that was draw heavy, quarterback option heavy. I didn't like all that. But playing down, that's not their game. We played extremely well when they were down. But it was that specific instance that led us to the Greenland that allowed us to play within ourselves and really kind of reclaim this victory, to be honest. What do you think, Tony, about that kind of split thing that happened in this game?
Well, I mean, okay, first of all, I didn't know that we'd signed Jonathan Taylor to the Broncos.
Well, but we appreciate you, Jonathan Taylor.
Take all the help we can get there. I mean, our running game isn't doing anything, so thank you for using your run game to do it for us.
Appreciate it.
But here's the fact, guys, is it was not a great game in a lot of facets. Okay, now granted, the defense, the second half defense got the job done, and they got it done in the first half, but they were, and special teams. I mean, Marvin Mims, dude, that dude is phenomenal returner.
Oh my God!
Something we have waited years for is a good return guy, and we've had him for 2 years now, and he's shown 2 seasons in a row that he is that guy. Him and our special teams unit doing a great job. Offensively, left a lot to be desired. Bo definitely did not look what we had come to expect from Bo.
I've got
and
negatives.
It just goes to show. No, there's negatives. Yeah,
there's negatives.
There's definite negatives on this game. But at the end of the day, as Vin Diesel so eloquently put it at the beginning of our show, a win's a win, regardless of how it happens. At the end of the day, we got the win. Now they have a short week ahead of them. In fact, only enough time to really get in one practice before they go on to take the Chargers, who just lost. I believe, they just lost. Yeah. Hang on, gotta look it up. Where's the Chargers game? Here we go. Yep, who lost 40-17 to Tampa Bay.
Must suck.
Right. Says Bakisaki, what's up, my dude? I love it. Mark. He says it's 8 years and I'm happy. I need to be, apparently, according to Mark from Georgia, I need to be the team's new mascot with my attire. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I've worked really hard on it. Here's the hammer. I didn't even hold it up today. But go Broncos!
You're a monster.
He says you can put those horses on top of your horns. That would be badass. I could do that, actually. That wouldn't be hard. I'll think about that. I will think about that, my friend. But anyway, back to it for just a second. Bo did not look great. Ultimately, Bo Nix, 20 for 33 for 130 yards, 3 Now he got 3 touchdowns. Good for him.
Yeah.
But 3 interceptions.
Bruh.
I mean, at least he's 500 today on the touchdown interception differential.
130 yards? Is that what I heard you say?
Bruh.
You heard me correctly.
Yeah, dude, that's brutal. That's brutal.
That is very brutal.
That's what we call regression. And let me say, I've said this all year long. It seems like a repeating theme. But as soon as a aspect of our team is let down and we play below our threshold of acceptability, another aspect of our team comes to the plate with positive vibes and with positivity that outweighs the negativity that we are thrown to another aspect of our team. So It is not a surprise that we won. It's not a surprise that we pulled this out because
we won as a team.
We won as a team. Our team in and itself continues to be extremely reliable, extremely resilient.
Yes.
Extremely relevant. We are in the game. We might not dominate. We might not get the shit kicked out of us, but we are in it. We're in it the whole time. In the realm of possibility to be able to win an NFL game. And that's really all you can ask for any given week when it comes to the NFL.
Any NFL game. Any NFL game. Not just one, not just this one or that one. Any NFL game, we have the potential to at least be in the game.
It's true.
And so, like I said, we have a short week ahead of us. Okay. We're going up against our division rival on Thursday Night Football in just 4 days. All right. That gives us only about enough time for maybe one practice. But I would love to point out that we are now on a 5-game win streak, whereas our opponent this coming Thursday, our division rival, just got decimated by a team that we decimated. And they also have only 4 days to prepare for it. So
short week for the Chargers.
Short week for both teams. And the Chargers just got destroyed. Not even, it wasn't even like they just lost. They lost 40-17.
Yeah.
That is not what you'd expect from the John Harbaugh led Chargers. And from for being in the hunt the way they are. But here's the thing, right? Let's look at the playoff picture ahead of us real quick, Jay. Right? We were sitting there pretty with same record, Broncos and Chargers. They're still ahead of us technically, 1 seed, because they have the tiebreaker over us. However, they lost today. So now now they're not, because now they're what, 8-6? We're now 9-5.
Yeah, correct.
So we've let them. We have left them. Well, what's the divisional wins look like for the Chargers? Because that's the ultimate right there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have a better record than them. We now have a better record than them. The two teams that were right behind us were the Colts and the Dolphins. We beat the Colts, and the Dolphins lost now, miserably.
If they beat us Thursday night, they have the 2-0 head-to-head, and they're all good to go. But, that is making Thursday night such a must-win. Because if we beat them, more than likely, we will be above them. And we will not be 7th seed. We will not face the Buffalo Bills. And that is what Broncos Country needs to avoid. If they want to have a first-round victory, do not play the Buffalo Bills. That is a recipe for disaster.
Well, look at what the Buffalo Bills did to the Detroit Lions today. Those two are like two teams that are that's a possible Super Bowl preview. Was that game? And let's look at it. 48-42 Buffalo over Detroit tonight. So, that's an 90-point game, dude.
Woof woof.
And Buffalo got it done. And and like I said, that's a possible Super Bowl preview. Buffalo and Detroit.
And that's a repeatable feat. So if you play another AFC team, like if we truly did play Buffalo, it would be a low scoring game, obviously, to that. But like Buffalo's gonna put points up. And I don't trust our defense or our offense to be able to match, pound for pound with that. We're not there yet.
No,
we're
not there yet.
To be there yet.
Now, granted, if it happens, if we get there and we have to face Buffalo in the postseason, I'm going to be standing tall as a Broncos fan and shouting to the heavens, we can get this done, because you know me, Jay, that's who I am, and I always will be.
Glass half full.
But I always will be. But at the same time, I don't want it either. I don't want it either. But hey, we got the victory tonight, and and again, we have an advantage. Granted, we're going on the road to LA for Thursday night. That gives them about a 2-point advantage in the betting odds, is simply because they're at home. However, let's be honest, playing at SoFi against the Chargers, it's no different than it's really not an away game for us, because about half the stands are always filled with our fans during those games. So take away that advantage from them. You can go ahead and take the advantage, the home field advantage, away from them, because who cares? And then you can go ahead and take the fact that the Broncos are on a 5-game win tear, 5-game win streak. We have not seen a red L above our heads on the Broncos logo in 5 games, Jay. And that right there, that's momentum. And they're going to address, Bo Nix struggled today. We saw it with his footwork. We saw it with his decision-making. He struggled with it again.
Terrible.
I guarantee you the first thing he's doing is he's going to sit in that locker room tonight after the press conferences and everything. He's going to watch it, because that's the kind of, Jay's getting googly eyes from his girlfriend. Hi, Dawn. But no, he's going to, the kind of player that Bo is, and this is something that's been talked about by his teammates in college and everything, is he obsesses. Oh, we saying hello? We saying hello? Oh, she's blocking the face. I'm his cousin. You can let me say hi. Hi.
He says,
no.
Let me see your face. All right. She says no.
It's not happening. It's not happening. But anyway, but looking at it the way that it is that I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Jay.
It's all your fault.
Yeah. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is the Broncos have the momentum right now.
Oh yeah, dude.
And Bo is the kind of player, but now I remember where I was. Bo is the kind of player, it has been spoken to by his teammates, high school, college, everybody. He obsesses over being better, over football. And so I guarantee the next 2 days are going to be nothing but him watching what he did tonight and going, I got to fix that. Davis Mills is going to have some words with him. Sean Payton's going to have some words with him. They're going to get the corrections. They're going to be like, look at the way you played against Atlanta. Look at the way you played against Las Vegas. That is what we need to see. Bring that back. Stop with this thing that you're doing now. I don't know why we're back to that, but let's fix it. They have a few days. They're going to.
Big tall takes here. C- grade for Bo today for me from a 6'10" Mexican, Don Diaz. And you know what? I would not give Bo Nix a C-. I would say that. Although I would not give him an A+. I wouldn't even give him an A-. To be quite honest, I would give
B- for me.
That's what I was going to say. A B- for Bo Nix. Because Bo Nix regressed in my eyes. He did not hang in there, if you will, with the play calls. He bailed out and ran a lot more than he really should have. Although I like his mobile ability, I want Bo to trust his play calling abilities. And maybe we're not at the point where Bo has comfortability to check Sean Payton at the line and call his own audibles so that at the end of the day, Bo Nix's play calls are his own, so that when we see Bo Nix run from a play call, it's his own play call and not a coach's play call, because I think those are two distinct different things, but we're not at that point. But I really wish Bo Nix would have been at the point where he trusted a play call to be able to throw his third option instead of bailing out and running today, because I don't like the mobile Bo Nix. I love that he can do it, but I don't love that he does it, if that makes sense.
See, for me, it's the opposite.
Ooh.
Now, here's why. I get you don't want your quarterback having to run all the time because they get hurt doing that.
Nope. Yep.
But unfortunately, that is the NFL today. Mobile quarterbacks win games. Mobile quarterbacks become superstars. It's how it is. And on top of it all, when you have a quarterback that is capable of that, it changes the way you can play the game in a positive way, because it adds something to your arsenal that teams have to prepare for. But if you're not using it, you're not utilizing it from time to time, showing them that you're willing to do so, they're not, then you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
it's important.
I do.
If he has the skill set, one, you want him to keep it, since it's part of his skill set, you want him to be able to keep it somewhat sharp, and taking that away from him completely doesn't allow for that, because practice makes permanent. But it's a these are all perishable skills. You got to practice them to keep them sharp. On top of it all, when it is part of their skill set that can win you games, we constantly screaming for coaches to use players to their strengths, right? Why should we be scream? I can't scream for any different from Bo Nix. He is a good runner, so why not utilize it from time to time? I'm not saying let him Lamar Jackson and run 17 times a game. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying like 3-4 design plays or something for him to run, for him to move the ball.
See, but here's my problem with that. Is because if you see a quarterback running for his life, to me, that should mean that your first 4 reads are no good. And that means either your players suck in getting open, or that means your play calling is so bad that you don't put your players in a good position to be successful. And
can we really expect? Again, I have all the faith in Bo Nix. I still believe he's the guy. So definitely throwing that out there so that it's heard. Bo Nix is still the guy, guys. He is still the future of this team. But he is still a rookie. Can we really expect a rookie quarterback, any rookie quarterback, to get through 4 reads consistently? No.
He should.
He should, but he can't. And sometimes he can.
He is the rookie quarterback to be able to do that. He's a cerebral quarterback.
There's still got to be, you still got to give him some kind of learning curve.
That is his skill set. That's what he does the best out of all rookie quarterbacks.
With that, I agree. But I feel like you still got to give him something of a learning curve being a rookie.
It's an unfortunate thing that we have such high regard for a rookie. And we have such less patience as Broncos Country does, because we have had 9 years of bull honking at the quarterback position. So, we deserve to have a quarterback that can make the right reads. And Bo Nix is so close to that threshold. He's just not at that threshold. And we need to be acceptant of that. We need to give him grace, I feel like, of that.
We do. He deserves it. He deserves that. Now, can we? Sorry, children going in and out, thinking that this is
A C minus out of Adon Diaz today for Bo. I mean, dude, I wouldn't necessarily disagree because Bo has not had his best game. He hasn't played very well this game. I don't know.
But
Johnny,
but you know what? At the end of the day, we got the win. We saw a rookie game out of a rookie. Doesn't mean it's going to be excuse me. It does not mean that it's going to be a consistency, a thing that we're going to see at week in, week out from here on out. We saw a lot from him from the last few weeks. Okay, we know what his potential is. The bye week was wasted. That much is obvious. I said it during the neighborhood watch party. I'm saying it now. We wasted our bye week. Okay, I get that the bye week is meant for rest and rehabilitation and all that, and good on you. They got plenty of rest, but it's also a time for reset and for focusing, because you are given that extra time. And it appears to me that they got plenty of rest and did not put enough emphasis on preparing for this game.
To me, it's not as big a deal on the defensive side of the ball, because I feel like our defense should have known what was up and that they were going to be playing a option or an RPO style of offense, and we should have been ready for that. And I feel like at the beginning of the game, we played very prevent, and I disagreed with that, and I will make all appropriate adjustments to Vance Joseph in that he did very well second half of being more aggressive and playing it more face up of a defensive schematic standpoint against Richardson, in that we didn't give him tons of time. We brought pressures, we brought blitzes. We actually did quite opposite of what we did in the first half, and it made a big difference. Now, on the flip side of life, our offense didn't necessarily make as big a swings in strategy and adjustment as what I at least would have liked. Our offense was a little slower to adapt. We were still running Javonte Williams in the second half as our lead.
I don't even want to go there right now, Jay. I don't understand why the experiment is still happening.
Number one running back. That's a pain point we need to reflect upon, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
We got a couple of new names in the chat, Jay. Asher D'Angelo said offense wasn't good.
No.
You know, they struggled. But they still got it done. I mean, there are still 3 offensive touchdowns on the day for the Broncos. So that's the thing. All right. Damian Cole, new name coming in as a Raider fan. Living in Denver for the last 10 years, I feel sick that I'm rooting for the Broncos this year, but go Nix. Hey, you know what? Damian, hope to see you back in here often. We have a lot of fans from a lot of different fan bases that come in and watch this show, even when we don't play their team. We have a lot of fun here, and we appreciate you popping in. So, Jay, you know, I got to ask you, even though the offense had its struggles, do you feel like they could still in 4 days, march into Los Angeles and get it done against the Chargers? What are you feeling about that game coming up?
100%. I feel like still Cortland Sutton is the epicenter of targets, which isn't a bad thing.
Or a good thing.
Well, no, I think it is a good thing.
I think it's
not a bad thing. Devon Vele is a bad thing, because I feel like Devon Vele has been given so many opportunities to perform, and he has slammed on his face a majority of. I don't see the positive ROI out of Devon Vele that I saw in the beginning of the year when we
Hey, Jay,
highlighted
keep
him.
it going for just a minute. I'll be back.
It's okay. The first 3 games of the year, Devon Vele was the wide receiver where we made the biggest swing of targets that I don't think any of Broncos country really predicted that we really would have highlighted in a high manner. And this is the time period where I kind of feel like you zero in on what is right and wrong with your offense. To me, this is a time period where you'd say, hey, this is what Marvin Mims is really good at. This is what Cortland Sutton is really good at. And I don't think, other than those two, I don't really see the positiveness in, for instance, Troy Franklin. His touches mean nothing right now. Mean nothing. I wish they did, because he is an incredible skill set, has a great connection with our quarterback. But on the whole, as evidence supports, he has done nothing. Same thing with, say, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Has done nothing, has yielded no satisfaction in route tree, in that we should really expect a whole lot of nothing. So I write off that wide receiver. And honestly, and there's, I hate to say this, but there's a really good chunk of myself that says the same thing about Marvin Mims, because Marvin Mims really doesn't see tons of actual fruitful booms. I love the Costco guys, the chicken bake versus double chunk chocolate cookie, and you get the boom boom boom, and I love all that, but at the end of the day, I don't see the boom factor out of it that I would love to see. And I wish that were different. But our wide receiving corp is more structured to a wait and see than it is to explode on the matter of fact as it is now. I don't like where our offensive weapons are right now. I really wish, from a draft perspective, we take our first 4 rounds, where we actually have 4 rounds of picks in this offseason here to dedicate to the offensive side of things. I want a wide receiver first round. I want a tight end second round. I want a running back third round. And I want to follow up the 4th round with a wide receiver. That's my 2 cents of the 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 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 accumulation of wide receiving talent, or offensive talent rather, to our offensive, arsenal in the draft this year. I think we are super overperforming offensively, super overperforming. Bo Nix is great and all, but our tight end room is an embarrassment. I honestly think our wide receiving core is an embarrassment. Marvin Mims is a terrific returner. He is not a wide receiver. He is not a number 2. He's a number 4 on a core that should be successful. He's a great special teamer, but it just ain't in the same ill as what we would be searching for in the draft. But that's honestly that's the glory of this team and the structure of this team is we're not supposed to be set up this year. This is all gravy, folks. Guys, we are dominating in a year that we're not supposed to. So fill on the rest of this year. It's all gravy.
Okay. All right. So to your points, Jay, we're not supposed to be where we are.
No.
But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the positive look on this.
Okay. Glass half full.
That's what I do. I mean, look at Dave Glassman. Dave Full Glass Glassman right there. Let's effing go.
Full
the
glass
spilleth over.
Glassman.
Now, I'm going to look at this, Jay. No, we're not where we're supposed to be. We're above where we're supposed to be. Whether it was on purpose, by accident, or by sheer dumb luck, we are above where we are supposed to be. That is a baseline. That is a new baseline for us. And now we have a future. We actually have a future again. And from this moment on, we can build around what we have. And I choose to look at that as a positive. Is that we're young, we're young, dumb, and ugly, however you want to say it. We're young. We're not doing what we're expected to in a good way. We're overperforming, but I'd much rather they overperform than underperform. So, at the end of the day, while yes, the wins aren't necessarily pretty. Hey, guess who else? The wins haven't been pretty this season, and they've had a metric F ton of them. Is the Kansas City Chiefs?
No shit. Preach.
So, but guess what? Right now, they're still staring down the barrel at the first seed. But their wins haven't been pretty. At the end of the day, the wins are the wins. And we have them. We have 9 wins, Jay. 9 wins with a rookie quarterback. It's a good thing. It's a good, I'm going to say it this way. I'm going to take it from one of my drill sergeants. It's a good problem to have.
Let me call out a couple things. D-Rock out here saying, I absolutely like the continuity to attack downfield, even though the 3 interceptions. Keep Nick's confidence high. And we got, Dave Full Glassman saying, let's effing go. The glass spilleth over. Now, the confidence of the offense is one of those things in which I have mixed feelings about, because Sean Payton, weirdly enough, has given Bo Nix autonomy to kind of do whatever the hell he wants in the past 3 weeks. And I give him credit for doing that, because that's honestly what Bo Nix needs. It's just Bo Nix hasn't done anything with it. I wish he would have, but he didn't. And I don't know. There's also Mendongas that says, I think we can beat the Chargers as long as Mathis stays off the field. And I will tell you, Mundungus, you didn't hear a negative comment about Mathis this game. Now, I knew that would happen because this was not a passing game kind of thing that we would put our 3rd, 4th cornerback in jeopardy in this game. And that is exactly why Levi Wallace was deemed inactive, and we activated Drew Sanders, is because this was going to be a linebacker game, not a cornerback game. So I'm not surprised by that. That's what this game was. Now, next game, I'm all for the discussion of whom is 3rd cornerback and what effect does he have to the defense. I'm all game for it, but it wasn't this game.
Now, hold up. I'm going to show some love to your guy. Damari Mathis, because there's a whole lot of hate being tossed at him in the chat right now. Jay, now, first of all, we had no Riley Moss. It was obvious. Levi Wallace wasn't in there. There was a bit of a rotation of Damari Mathis and Chris Abrams Drain.
Yep.
And I thought, at least from what I saw, and I watched the whole game because I was live on the neighborhood doing it. While there was a few moments with busted coverages, for the most part, both of them, Chris Abrams Drain maybe a little bit more than Damari Mathis, but still, both of them put up some pretty good, a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, there was some blown coverages for both of them. It happened. We can't really. I mean, no offense, Jay. We can't really expect anything less from Damari Mathis. It's what we have seen it for years now with him.
Hey, D-Rock
Chris
says,
Abrams Drain is young.
Yo, you guys saw the field today at least. Hey, he got an opportunity. He got an opportunity.
Hey, Jay, how much wine have you drank, buddy? You're slurring your words just a little bit there, buddy.
It's a red blend.
I'm asking how much.
Well, a blend means you just don't know. All right.
Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I don't feel like Damari Mathis is ever going to be a starter. Again, I don't.
Probably not.
But I mean, they both him and Chris Abrams Drain had some decent play today. Chris Abrams Drain definitely has a higher ceiling, I believe. He'll get there. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I do have to start. I'm sorry to try to like rush us along, Jay. But I gotta get ready to get the kids to bed. So are we ready to give some game balls maybe?
Yeah. Toss those up.
All right. Well, I mean, it's time then, everybody, to find out who's got the balls. Woo! Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Who's Got the Balls. Jay, what is this segment?
So it's what's weird, Johnny, is if you look at the top rushers for this week, you're going to see Bo Nix, number 1 in rushing yards for the Denver Broncos. Is that not nuts? Does it feel like that when you watch the game? It doesn't feel like that to me.
Not at all.
Nope.
But Bo Nix 8 carries for 23 yards.
It's not a good thing. So, my game ball first. Oh my gosh. And when you look at box score, the number 1 wide receiver is Cortland Sutton with 32 yards. That's garbage. That's terribleness. Oh my gosh, dude. So
who's the first game ball go to, Jay?
Yeah, Nick Bonito. Interception, return for a touchdown. I can't imagine the guy doesn't deserve a game ball. Like in the sequence in which we are giving out game balls, there is no instance in which he doesn't deserve a game ball. The guy's a playmaker. The guy's a home wrecker, home run hitter. He is Nick Bonito, and I'm about to get a D-Line sponsored t-shirt. Bonito time. I'm all about him. It's unfortunate he is the one defensive weapon that we have not signed long term. And that has to be rectified by the end of the year. It is a travesty that he is not signed up for a long-term deal.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that because on top of that interception, dude, he recorded five total tackles, 3 of them solo, half a sack, and a tackle for loss. So I mean that, he's doing an amazing job. Dave Glassman is giving himself a game ball for David's Dangerous Team beating Team Baki in the playoffs today for the Nothing Rhymes or for the Orange and Blue Network Fantasy League. Good for you, Dave. Proud of you. I gave it my all.
Thank you, Dave.
I gave it my all. But anyway, and Dave makes a great point here. We don't need to sign Nick Benito until next year. Although I wouldn't be surprised. And I would not be listen, no. We don't have to. Now,
yeah, we do.
I fully expect them to address his contract in the offseason. And that'll be just fine.
That'll be just better than Cooper. Cooper just got paid.
Yeah, well, Cooper was ready to get out the door sooner. So lock them both up. Anyway, I like that. I like that game ball. It's well-deserved game ball. My next one, or my first one, is going to be a special teams game ball. This one goes to Marvin Mims, who had two excellent returns today. One of them, went way further than the other. But I want to point out that when he was on that second really long return he made, he put us into position in the red zone to get another score. But on top of it, as he was taking the ball back down the field after fielding that punt, he slowed down. You watched him. He slowed down to get behind his blockers. He was patient, and then he started directing traffic. He's like, hey, you there, go. And in doing so, made an absolutely incredible return there. He is a diamond as far as the return game goes, and I'm all about Marvin Mims as our return guy.
Dude, yeah. I mean, he is great. He should be under consideration for a Pro Bowl.
A second Pro Bowl?
Yeah, a second one, I guess. For return man. He's elite in that specific skill set. He does very well in that.
Yes, he does. So, go ahead with your next one, buddy.
I'm gonna pull a so if you recall, back in the preseason, I gave Xavier Weaver from the Arizona Cardinals.
I was gonna do this, and now you're gonna do it instead. I hate you.
Arizona Cardinals, Xavier Weaver got a game ball on this very podcast. But today I'm gonna give Jonathan Taylor a game ball because he dropped it at the precipice of the end zone. And he literally, in this instance, lost the game for his team.
He did.
We're going to hear about this for the next week. Of literally, that was the play that lost not only this game, but the Colts' whole season. Because this whole game was boiled down to the Colts' whole season. Like, the Colts' season is over. It's done. We're done. We're all done here. Like, Broncos are going to make the playoffs and the Colts will not. And it's all because of Jonathan Taylor's and
I mean, what an F up, dude. What an F up.
What an F up.
You literally just took my next one. That was my next one, was to give it to an opposing team's player, give it Nothing Rhymes and an Orange and Blue Network and MHRT Network game ball to an opposing team's player.
Yep.
For that flub.
The last one was Xavier Weaver. The last one was Xavier Weaver, which I gave the preseason.
I'm not saying that would have been the deciding factor in the win, win or loss for us, but it definitely shifted the momentum. It definitely shifted the momentum in our favor, and good on you, buddy. I mean, this is the true. It's an actual physical manifestation of the saying, don't count your eggs before they hatch.
Yep.
Because that's exactly what he did. He's like, oh, yeah, I got a touchdown. I'm going to start celebrating, and I'm going to show off and be awesome for the fans. No, didn't work in your favor, bub. So yep. I agree. All right, so my next one, I'm going defensively. You gave one to Nick Bonito. I'm going Brandon Jones.
Ooh, that is a good one.
And the reason, there are several reasons for this. And there was quite a few guys that, and I really hope our defensive guys heal up quick, or that they're not too serious. Our defensive linemen, Pat Surtain. Oh God, these injuries, they could not have happened at a worse time. So please, dear Lord, I'm praying before you now live on the podcast. Don't let it be serious. But as far as Brandon Jones goes, Brandon Jones not only notched an excellent interception off of pressure brought by Nick Bonito, the first defensive game ball of the day, in the face of Anthony Richardson. He not only notched an excellent interception there, but he also led the team with 8 tackles, 8 of them solo. So he was all over the field tonight. He was everywhere he needed to be, not only to get an interception and everything, but at the same time to just be what we needed him to be. And that is a good free safety. So, well, good on you, buddy, and well done.
Yeah.
There's your game ball.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. All right. Jay, next for you.
All right. Last game ball. Patrick Surtain the second. And I will say why. It's not even because he wasn't blanketed on Michael Pittman. He wasn't blanketed on top wide receiver this week. He was just kind of put out to just kind of be a zone person on one side of the field. He did not follow the top wide receiver necessarily all through the game, but he is going to be a mainstay player in moving forward. In the type of teams that we're going to be playing, he's going to need to be everything that we hope he is. And I want to give a game ball to him to propel him to future success. Because we're going to really need his shutdown abilities to be able to prosper for our future matchups. Because Thursday night on a short week is going to come real quick. Lad McContley, or whatever the hell his name is. He's a little lad. He's damn good. I'm going to give him credit. He's a very good wide receiver.
Yes.
And I want to be the first one to say he's going to be shut down. I hope he is.
I hope so too.
So PS2 deserves praise every week, but specifically this week, he deserves praise. Let's go, PS2!
Okay. All right. My last one, and then we can get ready to roll out.
Yep.
If that's all right with you, Jay.
Yep.
Is I'm going. This is another one of those ones that I'm going to get flack in the chat for it. I'm going to take a game ball and split it between 2 dudes.
Oh wow!
I'm actually going to give it. No, you know what? I'm not going to split it. I'm not going to give
2
it to
balls, 1 strike.
I'm going to give it to a position. All right, I'm going to give it to a position group.
Hey,
Clayton.
Huron.
Clayton. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hi.
What's up, dude?
Love.
What's up?
It's good to see you. He says, "Smash that like button and share, guys. We appreciate that very much."
Also, Shy Fargus. What's up, Shy?
Shy's in the house.
What up, dude?
And Dave asks one question, then I'll give this last game ball. He says, "Is it okay if we pray that Mahomes blew an Achilles?"
Ooh,
I mean,
it could be.
I mean, Jesus would tell us no, that's not an okay thing to pray for. But as Broncos fans, go ahead and pray a silent prayer.
You go take your last one, Johnny. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, you got to be here for it. What is wrong with you? All right, here we go. So I'm actually going to give my last game ball to a position group rather than an individual player. And that, for me today, believe it or not, is the tight end position. One thing that this team has struggled with for a while is having tight ends that are productive. And today we had two of them. Granted, they each only caught three passes between the two of them, but for both of them, those resulted in touchdowns. Nate Adkins and Adam Troutman each caught a touchdown pass today from Bo. Nate Adkins had 1 for 15 for a touchdown, and Adam Troutman had 2 for 20 and a touchdown on 2 total targets. So he also caught, if you really look at the tight end position, we really only had, in fact, here we go. I'm going to say it this way. There were 5 total targets to tight ends tonight. 5 total between 3 tight ends. So there was 2 targets to Adam Troutman, 1 target to Nate Adkins, and 2 targets to Lucas Kroll. All right. Not a single incomplete, not a single drop from the tight end position. All 5 targets were complete passes. And 2 of them, Adam Troutman for a touchdown and Nate Adkins, 15 yards for a touchdown, resulted in points on the board for the Broncos. So I'm giving my game ball to the tight end position. Jay, you're just now getting back as I was saying this. I don't know what you could hear, but what I was saying was, if you look at the game, there were 5 total targets to tight ends tonight. 5 total targets. All 5 were receptions, and 2 of them went for touchdowns. 1 by Nate Adkins and 1 by Adam Troutman. To me, the tight end group got it done tonight.
No, I mean, you're totally right. It is a rarity for our tight end room in and itself to have even a substantial amount of targets. Like, yes, success is one thing, but targets is another thing. We actually focused upon that positional group, and that's a rarity in and itself, just to give opportunity to.
Yes.
I just
that's why my last game ball goes to the tight end room, to the tight end position, not just a single guy. So that's 6, buddy. I think we're done with game balls.
Yeah, tis true. It's been for a 31-13 route. It seemed like a heck of a lot closer game than that score indicates. I know all scores don't mean the same. Like, the tail of the tape means a lot different than the actual score. And I feel like this is a really good game that indicates differently. This game was a lot closer than 31-13. We could have lost this game so easily. This was a game in the balance for a majority of the game. And,
before we get out of here, I'm going to say it. Early in the game, our fan base was that way. You weren't there yet, Jay. This is before halftime when we were down, 13-10, and before they had called back that Jonathan Taylor run, where he dropped the ball. But our fans were literally just going like, "This is over.
Oh,
it's
no!
Over.
We suck again!"
And I was sitting there going, "No, it's not. Calm down. Take a breather. They're going to go into the locker room. They're going to make adjustments. They're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to come back. We have a whole other half to play." And look what happened. Exactly what this team is good at. They're just like they once were under Elway. Elway's Broncos was a second half team. And that's always did. It's not ideal. You don't want to have to play back, from behind. But at the end of the day, they're getting the job done. I'm not going to complain too much.
Hey, Dave, is it okay if we pray for Mahomes' blue Achilles? I went to church today. I went to a church for a reason. Patrick, let's go. Blow that.
No, Achilles. I said, I answered that earlier, and I said to Dave, Jesus would tell us no, but the Broncos fan in me says pray away. Yeah. All right, Jay. This has been fun, bud. But absolutely. I've been on for 7 hours now.
Woof woof. Woof woof.
So,
you know, at that instance, I appreciate your your continuity to this, your approach to all this. Johnny, 31-13, bud.
Yep.
31-13. We got her done, dude. We're a playoff team. Not only is Travis Hunter the MVP of college football, Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the NBA. Nathan McKinnon is the MVP of the NHL. But the Denver Broncos are a playoff football team. Denver sports couldn't be any higher. And guys, with that, I say there ain't a whole lot of feelings to buck that are negative right now because Denver sports are
but
riding high.
I feel like they have been. There were some, but I feel like they have been bucked.
Yeah, dude, Denver sports are riding high right now, man. There ain't no complaints out of anyone that is a Denver sports fan right now. So with that, I feel like we need to do some mile high salutes. We need to give thanks. We need to be thankful for everything we have. And we continue on with the winning fashion with positive vibes. The vibes are immaculate for another week. Let's effing go. Johnny, let's go with a mile high salute. I bid you adieu. Let's
go Broncos, baby.